Kickstarter, the method of crowdfunding many different projects, with this video specifically focusing on video games, and many video games every day do go up or to try and be crowdfunding and become a reality. Now I know crowdfunding has its own negative aspects, don't worry, we will get to that, but this video won't be focusing on the big ones that people talk about, because I want to focus on ones that I specifically had money put into, so specifically any issues that pop up as my vested interest, since I'm the one who did put money into these projects. We'll focus on that rather than just being another person who goes, oh, my number 9, stuff like that exists, red ass. Like, it's easy to talk about Kickstarter when you didn't have any sort of, input into it. So I want to focus on the ones that specifically I have backed, and there are plenty that I have backed. So I want to focus on that. So let's get right into it. The first Kickstarter I ever backed was for the game Yooka-Laylee that was made by Playtonic Games, made by former Banjo-Kazooie staff, making a game akin to Banjo-Kazooie in basically the most distinct way possible. And this game does have some issues with Kickstarter, but first get to the game itself. I thought the game was fine. It was good, it wasn't anything great, though there are some balls with this Kickstarter that did happen. Like, you can probably see that, oh, I went for like the Digital Deluxe plus Enhanced PC Toy Box Plus mode, which we'll get into. Being the Toy Box Plus was essentially this little bonus that was essentially like an alpha state little thing that I know people got angry about, but I don't know what they really expected. Like, it's basically just a little alpha state people got expected, like its own standalone little project thing. Like, no, it's gonna be like that. But so many issues more come with this come from the freaking stretch goals that got funded, and some of them didn't happen. This game also did a bit of controversy, because I believe that there was a miscellaneous character that JonTron played that ended up getting removed at the time because of stuff happened with JonTron, but it isn't about him, it's about Yooka-Laylee. But the rest of the main game itself was more a collectathon in the style of Banjo-Kazooie, and I see a lot of people generally prefer not this one, but the Impossible Lair that was made, that was more in style of Donkey Kong Country. People prefer that one, and this game did get, I'm not sure, I think is getting, it hasn't come out yet, a remaster that also has its own can of worms. But I just want to go over to the stretch goals, because this is where problems start. All the stretch goals basically got funded. All the stuff here you see on the screen, you see it all got funded, checked off, and everything. But there was some problems, such as the late updates for some stuff, like the 64-bit tonic that basically was like, hey, there's a 64-bit style filter to the game that didn't come out for a long while. Also, the Wii U version never actually got made, so people want a Wii U version, also got burnt in that. I know people would go, bust the Wii U, but people paid money for a Wii U version and unfortunately didn't get that, so that is something worth mentioning. You also have the Let's Play tonic that, as far as I'm aware, never happened either. A developer walked through commentary video of the game, never got made either. Now time for the big ones, being the orchestral score. This one got completely cancelled. They told us about this, that it got cancelled because they basically underestimated the cost of getting an orchestral OST. But it kind of also feels like an extra stab in the back, because remember how I mentioned the remaster they're making, Yooka-Laylee Replay? That version of the game will have an orchestral soundtrack, so the fact that it was promised here, but it's not going to go to the remaster, can feel like getting dicked over. Then there's the last one, which is DLC that's free to backers. This never happened because they didn't make DLC, and by the time they thought about making DLC, they generally thought that trying to make DLC exclusive for the backers was kind of impractical the way they handled the Kickstarter, and they wanted everyone to have updates where that's select few, even though people pay specifically to get DLC free to backers. Not DLC exclusive to backers, DLC free to backers, meaning it could still be made for the public, they just had to pay for it, while the Kickstarter people basically already bought into it. But that caused its own stink because they never made DLC. Never happened. With DLC that you can see listed on Steam is for the soundtrack and the freaking art book. That's it. No DLC got made for the game. So this whole entire, freaking Giant Point pretty much meant nothing. So that basically was a big can of words when it came to Yooka-Laylee. Like, it's a good game. Oh, it has its faults, but it's not anything super bad, horrible, super amazing. It's just a good 3D platformer that could have been better and everything. But I say I overall still enjoy this whole entire Kickstarter, although if you see like the comments, you'll see like a bunch of people that aren't like me forgiving as well. Like, see someone says already called them lazy, but they got a message from the new community manager at Playtonic, who was not around during the Kickstarter, but they're trying their best, so nice, hats off to them. But yeah, just the fact that some people are upset, like, oh, needing to fill out a form in order to change the name of the credits kind of thing for their backer ID, which is not easy for some people. But yeah, see, that's also mentioning how, oh, all the stretch goals haven't been met yet, and they're already remastering the game. On top of the fact that, like I said, the remaster has one of the promised things for the original that just never gonna happen. Yup. So that kind of, so people are still upset, even if overall people are like, it was kind of good game, although the Impossible Layer was the more beloved title. So there is that whole entire thing, but yeah, I can see why people be burnt on this is 100% justified. So you gotta remember Playtonic not giving backers, even though he promised DLC to free the backers, which still hasn't been fulfilled. See, like a lot of people all do have that sentiment. So that's pretty much opposite. Like, I'm pretty sure people over on original game do get like a discount, but that's just for only the game. That's not for being a backer or anything. So that whole entire thing is just a whole can of worms. So, although I'm shocked to learn that apparently one of the few people who got the achievement for beating the game, apparently I am one of the 9.2% of Steam players who actually beat the game back in 2017. I am surprised by this. So yeah, the whole entire buzz. But yeah, the first game I backed, Yooka-Laylee, for my first Kickstarter I ever backed. The next one I backed was Tokyo Dark by Cherrymochi Game Studio, and this one does also have assistance from Square Enix, because Square Enix does have a program to help pretty much have freaking indie games pretty much get released. They got stuff like freaking Life is Strange or Power Wash Simulator. See, Square Enix right there, Square Enix Collective approved. Like, stuff like that is a really cool thing. You see right here, pay like $50 Canadian to get pretty much the game, digital art book, and the soundtrack as well. So I got everything. It didn't come out, but there is some stuff I gotta go over come to this. But this game is more of a point and click game. There was also like a little like beta version, demo version that came out that was basically like just a slice, like the intro of the game, which worked out pretty well as well. But if I recall, pretty much stretch goals we got. Pretty sure we didn't get every stretch goal, like without the full video, but we didn't get voice acting for the game. So there is that one entire aspect, but there are some things I felt were overhyped. Like, I will say the New Game Plus feature that says deja vu to the game, that I feel like they really overhyped what kind of feature was in the game, because in the actual game itself, I didn't feel like New Game Plus was really all that different, you know? So I felt like kind of exaggeration was a cool idea they had of, oh, what if pretty much kind of like the idea the character basically reliving the events after already being in the game. So there's that one entire aspect, but it says it's a bit of a mystery game, and there is something like the fact that it's got multiple endings. It's a relatively short game, lots of choices you can do. But what I'm going to mention right now is, if you were interested in Tokyo Dark, you should not go for the PC release of this game. You may say, what? Why not? It came out on PC when it got Kickstarted and everything. Yeah, but the better version is the one released on Switch, because that one, dubbed Tokyo Dark Remembrance, actually has extra content that was never backported to the PC. So the version I backed everything has less content than the re-release that was put onto Switch. So ideally you would go with that version. I know for some people that can feel like a dick move that another version of the game got more content that pretty much your version you back never got. As I mentioned, like I said, some people, that's a dick move, but it's what it is, honestly. It's like a beast. I don't want to see people being frustrated about that. You know, Cherrymochi did also crowdfund other title, but I was a part of that one. So there's that. That's what the comments are saying about Tokyo Dark. Yeah, it's up 3 years ago. It took $8 for DLC, and I mean, technically they did make more content. It was just not on the PC release. Instead, it was on the Switch release. So seems like not much issues. There's little people getting rewards, physical rewards. So that one entire thing. So it seems like relatively things went fine. Yeah, I'm saying that's about the DLC, that's about the extra content, console exclusive to forwards, but the only answer to remembrance, planning to complete a rebuild for consoles will be coming to PC. Extra series also console only. In addition, there are changes too. So there's that. And this game did also get a physical console release, but that was through limited run games only, so only through a certain window. I do own that copy. I have not played that copy yet, despite buying a freaking physical copy of the Switch version. But like I said, if you want to play Tokyo Dark, you would want to go with the Switch release. And this game is good. It's not anything super amazing, because it's a point-and-click adventure mystery game. So if you're not into a point-and-click adventure, then probably not for you. But it's a point-and-click adventure that's also more on the horror side as well. So it's a cool game. Feel like when it comes to Kickstarter thing, it was handled relatively well, especially for first-time studio making their own game. Like I said, they got help from the Square Enix Collective, so it's not as if they were alone on this project. But that's all I gotta say about Tokyo Dark, which was the second thing I backed on Kickstarter. Next thing I backed was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night by Koji Igarashi, and oh boy, there are plenty of things to talk about with this one when it came to problems, but let's go over the positives. Basically, the whole idea was basically crowdfunding, not necessarily to fund the game, but to show support that people do want more games, do want more Metrovania games, style like Castlevania, RSR, Symphony of the Night, Order of Ecclesia. You get the idea. All more Metrovania titles, and at the time was like the highest grossing video game Kickstarter at the time, over $5 million. I'm pretty sure they also had a collaboration with 64 for a video, and also a collaboration live stream with the creators Far From Subtle / Video Games Awesome, who I did watch their live stream. It was one of the things that pushed me to back. Ignore this thing over here, it says I only paid $28. I actually, through Backer Kit, upgraded it to a physical Switch version. We'll get to a Switch version at some point, but in reality, I paid like $60 for this Kickstarter. But you can see the concept art they had, because only time they had the concept art, because it was just the idea they had, which they would then shop around the idea to companies who may be interested in making it into a reality. I don't know the Wii U version ever came out. I'm about to check that while I'm recording this. But there were a lot of stuff they had to have planned for stretch goals, and this comes one of the problems. Not all the stretch goals exactly got met, or if they did, they would come out way years after the point. Like the fact that this game was still getting updated years and years and years. So it took a long time to get all this stuff released, if it ever did. And I'm pretty sure there also already have been a while, like a year or two for now, probably more, making a sequel game as well. So having a sequel game and having not everything freaking released that you promised is kind of a dick move entirely. So there's that aspect of Kickstarter that kind of didn't go right. Then there's also a problem that I learned only recently through the comments, that the PC release, the physical PC release specifically, never got sent out because they were waiting until the disc was essentially the PC version was fully done. Like I said, this game has been getting updates for so many effing years. So the fact that they had to wait that long in order to even get that is insanely ridiculous. So that is freaking nuts that the PC people basically got some fine print thing that basically they didn't even get told about, that, oh, it's only after everything's been updated and it took them years and they're still not even done and they're making a sequel. So that is insane. Like, imagine ordering that and you probably moved by that point and everything, and I gotta change all that and everything. This also feel like you just got robbed entirely. Okay, 5 months ago, I expect to say for an update. We're putting the PC physical version of the game clearly. We cannot create a quick version of the game for PC version. Games will be updated. Still have more info soon, but so far I've seen nothing here that suggests that the PC version ever got actually sent out. But that's still nuts because, like I said, I have a physical Switch copy. They didn't wait until it was fully updated to send me a physical Switch copy. They just sent me that thing when I wasn't even done. And let's get into that mess. The Switch release for this game was effing terrible. It was plagued by technical issues. It would crash a lot. It would have bugs like Miriam's head just vanishing. There were also bugs that affected using the shop at some point that basically made it so you couldn't use the shop, which basically just made an entire big aspect of the game to upgrade your character completely useless, which was baffling. It was in the game for a long time. Meanwhile, they were pushing out more and more content updates for more content. Meanwhile, what was already released wasn't actually working, at least for the Switch version, and I made the bonehead decision of getting a physical Switch copy because la-dee-da, I bought a Switch. Oh, I know, I'll get Bloodstained on the Switch because I just got this new console that fails a portable device, but hey, Switch version, and that was a bit worse idea. But as the game itself, was it good? Hell yeah, despite all the bugs, despite all the crashing, I still beat that game. I still beat the game multiple times. The bugs were not going to stop me. Nothing was going to stop me. And also that other issue where they promised like free DLC for the backers, stuff like that. But also the fact that they also made completely separate paid DLC that even the backers had to pay for. That did feel kind of scummy, the idea that, oh, here's extra DLC we didn't account for originally for the Kickstarter, so you have to buy it separately, and it's like, what the hell? Like that kind of feeling. So I can feel like confusing in that aspect when it came to how to handle the Kickstarter. And there's one thing, I'm not sure about anybody else, but it's a pet peeve of mine, it's the fact that updates for the game would get sent out and told to the media before they actually alerted the backers. For some reason, the backers, the people who paid to help make this game a reality, were the last people to know information on the game. What the hell? Like, I don't know how that bugs anybody else, but that bugs me specifically, that I'm the last person to know, despite the fact that I funded part of the game. So that felt like a dick move to me specifically. But yeah, there's usually a like I said about Bloodstained, the fact that they had an entire graphics rehaul when the initial version they showed wasn't exactly well liked from people. They had to completely rehaul the visuals, but it did also show that essentially people, they were listening. The developers were listening until a certain extent where they probably just stopped. But yeah, that's what I said about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It was a cool game, good game. Able to, probably got patched by now. Avoid the Switch version. Just avoid the Switch version. Just don't. That's all I gotta say about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The next game I backed was Regalia of Madame Monarch by Pixelated Milk. And this is a game I would say is a cool mix of Persona, specifically Personas 3 through 5, with full counter social links, and Disgaea, because it has the tactical RPG aspects of Disgaea, but it also has the social link aspects, the counter system of Persona, where the idea is you basically have to fulfill a certain amount of tasks in order to progress by a certain point. But the thing that I find cool about this specifically is that it's any accumulation of tasks, so you could do like some tactical RPG battles and adventuring and fill the meter, or you could do some of the social links and get to know people, and that would also count. So it's kind of like how people describe how Persona plays when it doesn't with social links, where social links actually do contribute to your progress to continuing the story here, which is super cool at handling it. There's one video I still have, I think I spent like a half hour straight just fishing so I can get the points for the task done, so I can then freaking keep so I can then freaking have the points to progress through the game. So that Ltter aspect was freaking cool. So I spent $15 just to get a Steam or DRM free version of the game. So don't really know of any really woes with this game other than some people not think it's the best thing ever. I know this game got ported to console, at least I know it got ported to Switch specifically. but I don't think there's any real difference between the PC version and the Switch version of the game. One of those that the game's pretty cool. It's one of those games that people generally don't talk about, but you like freaking tactical RPGs like Esquire, or you like Persona 3 through 5, you'll probably enjoy something more like Regalia of Men and Monarch, although it does take a bit to get used to some of the way things work. And I know that when the game was new, there were some issues, like enemies had ridiculously high evasion at times, and you just couldn't hit jack all at times. It just felt like, what the hell's going on here? But the game's been patched constantly in order to fix that whole entire aspect. So, my message is a pretty cool game. Let's check the comments, see if anything people got to say about any possible issues. Let's see. DLC was never made available for consoles, correct? We don't know how to switch eShop's temporary hiccup, remove a purpose. Code fine, okay. Remember DLCs, what can I do? See DLC. Okay, some people having some issues like that, not getting certain things. But it's over like years old, so nothing more recent. DLC for console queue should be sent to. Okay, so console will get DLC, so they didn't get that. That could be a problem, but breaking seems like this could come into the milk either. Okay, so I have communication issues, it seems, where people can't really reach them because, you know, this comment section isn't the best place for that. But it seems like overall it's been pretty well, unless I'm gonna double check it as actually console DLC anything. Let's see. Now I see that the console version is just the complete all-in-one version, so people say about DLC, the DLC should just be included with the game as the rare edition, so not sure if people are mentioning there with that. But this was a cool game that at some point I should make a video on it just because it was a freaking cool type of RPG and it feels more kind to how people talk about Persona rather than how Persona actually is like. It's also a bit more on the comedic side of the game with how the dialogue is. So there's more about trying to make you laugh and be goofy at times, well, most of the time, while having some more serious and heartfelt moments. I do really like the game's ending and finale and then all that, but it is a cool game. Once again, I'm glad I backed this game as well. The Ltter by Yangyang Mobile, although I'm pretty sure it's since been renamed to the Ltter horror visual novel, as what's getting more distinct, right? Just calling it the Ltter. But this game I came across when I believe it was YouTuber Aki Dearest made a video on a demo for this game, and it seemed interesting, so I decided to just back it initially for like, it was like an early bird special. I decided to increase it to digital basic because it gave you a cool piece of artwork for upgrading for any amount. So I decided I want that artwork. Oh, this is back during the Steam Greenlight program. God damn. So this is it's a horror visual novel. What's saying feels full on horror. Say if something feels more, it's more spooky and unsettling than I'll say necessarily full on horror, make you jump out of your pants unless you're easily afraid, I'd say. So then one to aspect, but yeah, they highlight a lot of YouTubers played the game, got the word out there. There it is, Tucky Deers right there. So a lot of people definitely got the word out there for the early build of the game. But we did have some stretch goals that did get met. Like, I know if I got to pick up a game, I'll see voice acting. Oh dear lord, the voice acting story for this is kind of a story itself. But if I was getting into this, pretty sure we only got to that amount. Like, the chick, where is the amount? Oh no, 30k. Nope, just 30k. But I think it does have pretty much voice acting aside from internal monologue. So one way or another, they did manage to get it. But there was this whole kerfuffle where I don't remember the full details. But they essentially had issues initially with getting like a proper voice director or agency, whatever, to pretty much get the VAs. They turned to a big thing. They're supposed to do that, but eventually they did get the people, I believe, from Sound Cadence Studios, who you may know of having people who were generally a part of freaking Team 4-Star, you know, something like their Bread series, or just their 4-Star Bento, stuff like that series. You know, those voice actors pretty much got here, played several of the characters, so you know people like Altari 101. He plays one of the main characters in this game, for example, and Pator plays a minor character, HP 2K plays another minor character in this game, like stuff like that. You know, if you know the Abridged series, then you pretty much recognize some of the characters here. So this that whole entire aspect when it comes to that. I'm pretty sure also Emily Connor has also worked this game as well. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. So recognize our voices if you've been on the internet kind of thing. And I say they do a pretty damn good job. I'd say, especially in Takahata's performance in this game. Like, god damn. God damn. So, pretty much horror visual novel. I will say, it's just the game, the quality itself. There are some things, the fact that one thing they added in because they asked people during development to ask it to add it in, are QTEs, which you can turn off, and the QTEs do not affect your progress in the game at all. So don't be worried about turning them on and you feel like I got bad ending for the QTE. No, they're just there to keep the game more interactive because this is purely a visual novel. So it's gonna be you clicking around everything. Now, an adventure game is a pure visual novel with choices, and there are many variants, even a button you can hit to essentially get like an entire huge timeline of events. You just want to be spoiled to find certain pathways to just have the game tell you. There is that option as well you can do in this game. You just want to do that. In this game, it's gonna sound crazy. In the year of 2017, when this game came out, this is the same year, I believe. I should have came in 2017, 2016, but I played 2017 either way. And in a year with 2017, with so many stacked releases like Resident Evil 7, Tales of Berseria, Project Evil Future Tone, freaking Digimon World Next Order, that was just January by the way, Yakuza 0 as well. Many games, Pushing Near Automata also came out that year. Push also World of Final Fantasy 15 also came out that year. Push also 2017. In that year, this was my favorite game of that year. This, of all things, freaking visual novel by Yangyang Studio Mobile was my favorite game of the year because I just liked the game that much. I got so many different endings trying to find out. There is a true ending to this game that I know can turn off some, that there's so many different endings, but of course there's not to be one actual correct outcome, which probably can and will annoy people with that aspect. But to me, this game was freaking great. This game I wanted one of my friends to do a freaking video series on, but he kept rejecting it over and over and over. One day I will wear him down and he will say yes. He will say yes according to the letter. But the letter was a great freaking visual novel that basically put Yangyang Mobile on the indie spotlight. Not anything like big, like average person won't know who they are, what their game's about. But in the indie scene, especially visual novel scene, this game put them on the spot, on the blip, and that's what they're known for. I own a physical PC copy of this game, a physical copy of the OST, a digital copy of the OST, don't ask me I'm so stupid, and a physical Switch version, because it did also get ported to console, with it, I believe, being basically on par with the PC version. There was, I believe, a backer-only extra story bit that, let's see if I find on the side here. Sure I can find that. Because there was the extra backer-only extra story bit for a backstory for one of the characters that basically only the backers got, but since it's a visual novel, you probably just, just basically find videos of it on YouTube. You want to find out that story because, well, it's a visual novel. But either way, aside from the whole kerfuffle behind the scenes with trying to get the voice cast, I feel like it went relatively well. Let's what the comments got to say about this one. Let's see, it's supposed to be released last November. So yup, it did get pushed to 2017. Great, yeah, that's my release updates, that's Physical Awards. Okay, seems like relatively everything went relatively fine with the game's release. Let's go find that one update. Okay, here's the update. So it was the fact that they initially had an open audition for the casting, which made people felt like it was essentially a scam that, oh, we're gonna have voice acting, but then why are you doing open auditions? As if you were essentially just trying to get any Joe Schmo from the public to basically voice the characters rather than getting a more professional studio. So that became an entire gripe. Then also another fun fact, like, over here is Zachary Steele. If it seems familiar to you, it's actually because the character is actually design is actually based off the likeness of Wooly Madden of Wooly Versus. A little fun fact for you. But it's not to say is that's basically the aspect of that whole entire thing that basically caused the whole kerfuffle. And as a message to the community saying they're not scammers, and how basically huge thing that happened. I'll have scroll by right here, basically talking about involvement with the whole voice acting thing and lots of communication. So there was, like I said, it was a whole mess behind the scenes when it came to trying to get a freaking voice actor for this whole entire role. For the roles of the characters. But like I said, it did work out in the end as well. So this is a long ass story. I'm trying to go faster, but I'm trying to keep it off screen. Oh dear lordy, I am barely halfway through this whole entire thing. No, I won't put the whole entire thing. But you get the idea. There was a whole kerfuffle that behind the scenes with this game that happened during development. And then also saying like, hey, also got assistance from T4 Star via sponsor official statements. So slight delay so that we can get things done for the voice acting while showing actual progress updates for the game itself. So there is a whole entire thing with the update. That's it. Ready to do 200 editions. Special for by Friday. And then update says meet the voice acting cast of Amanda Lee. By the time I'm calling it Amanda Lee. This is the role I associate, but I don't think people know Amanda Lee with a lot of stuff, whether it be a lot of other roles she's done, her music, her VTuber persona. I associate with Isabella Santos specifically from this freaking game, from freaking the Ltter. So that's why I associate her most. But yeah, you see that when they finally casted the VAs, probably. Oh, it's Exorcist also. Goddamn, I didn't realize that was Airfix the whole time. I feel like a dumbass. Oh, because what's he? That's Hannah. That's what the role. Goners. Yep, credits it to Hannah Curtis as Luke. So how famous Marianne. So pretty much got the casting done and that whole drama just playing one behind us, even though I literally brought it up, so I'm the dickhead here. But you can see like the whole voice cast they got for the game. And if you're in the online sphere when it comes to like, a Brit series on YouTube, then you'll basically be able to recognize several of the actors here and little works they also would go on to do as well in other projects. So it is a big crazy thing. Let's talk about the Ltter. It was a freaking great game. Narcissu 10th Anniversary Anthology Project. I mean, it did come out, but this Kickstarter was played with so many errors. To this day, it's ridiculous. So the whole idea was to gather up all the Narcissu games made by, I believe, Stage 900 company developers, localize them, make them into a new collection and everything. I'm pretty sure at some point they'll try to make it to a new engine, but they might add that idea. But it started off kind of funny, like we literally stopped at 137 backers. So, start with a positive note, but then issues started to crop up. Like, these are just pure kinetic visual novels. It means there's no choices, it's purely just you clicking through and going through it. That's about it. Nothing too much going on with these games. They also didn't really remaster or change the first two entries because they already released them for free on Steam. They can go ahead and get right now if you want to. But I pitched them make like a separate version for them, included in this collection, I think, at some point. Or it's not, I don't remember. But either way, the problems with the Kickstarter started the fact that things kept getting delayed. Like, for the fact that estimated delivery is April 2016, it kept getting delayed and they kept releasing each entry one at a time because of all the delays that kept getting involved with Narcissu to the Anniversary project. So this became a whole entire issue with, delays that just leave people frustrated, that things aren't going right. There wasn't really much communication because there's anything Sekai project sucks at, it's communication. And also possibly a CEO that doesn't make rage tweets while driving on the highway. But it's a whole entire thing where basically it took longer for the people to actually get the games released than it probably took Stage 9 to actually make the games themselves. So it was a whole entire issue, but once they came out, you would think, okay, that's that. No, they still had the physical incentives to handle. Problem being, I'm pretty sure to this day, they have never actually mailed out the physical products for the Kickstarter. That those things are still basically in limbo, with no actual word, with kept being excuses for years and years of, oh, issues with this, issues with that, or we finalized design. What the hell is the point of all some of the mock stuff you have on the Kickstarter page and you haven't even gotten that done? What? So if you were a person who backed for something physical, you got immensely screwed over. On top of the fact that the Sekai project was just, I'm sure I still do, but at the time was associated with making 5 billion Kickstarters for like damn near every project they worked on, which got to an insane, ridiculous degree. Let's check the comments see if they actually still being updated. Oh my god, 2 months ago. Yup, people going, yup, any other physical award, one of the greatest scams ever. Yup, like if you were specifically wanting a physical thing for this thing, you basically got scammed. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You basically got scammed if you want a physical thing, because they basically let everyone high and dry and just left. On top of that, in 2016, they partnered with Limited Run Games to make a physical console version of the Anthology. This physical console version, or hell, a console release period, has never come out to this day. I feel like I'm the only person who remembers this. Can make tweets every now and often highlighting how many years it's been since they updated it, because of the fact that on the Sekai website you can see the status of all the games they're working on, and I'm pretty sure Narcissu has gone through like 3 years and counting with not a single update to its progress. And it's ridiculous. Like, we're closing in on the 10th anniversary. That's how bad it's getting. And the physical products, as far as I'm aware, never got shipped out. And last update was in 2022. And it's just been completely abandoned at this point. So like I said, you got a physical thing for Steam, you got your games. You want a physical product, you effectively got scammed and hoodwinked by Sekai project. And the physical version for console, or for console version period, is pretty much never coming out. Even Limited Run Games coming to at one point that they had no control over the game's release. It's all on Sekai project, and they basically just did Jekyll. It took so long to freaking do this that Stage 9 managed to make 2 new freaking visual novels on top of this. And those messages got somehow localized before they even finished his Kickstarter's promises. That's insane. This one I still check back on, even though there's like no hope. This Sky project just horribly incompetent with anything. If I've seen anything that isn't Neko Power, which is their big money maker visual novel, anything like that, basically they just bust things up. It is ridiculous, and it sucks because these are some really nice visual novels in terms of, although they can be, when we look at it, depressing or uplifting depending on the perspective you choose to go into them with. But it just sucks that this should have been handled way better, but didn't. And it still annoys me. I still keep checking back, knowing if they had any updates for physical release, even though I know they totally don't. They forgot it even exists. They probably don't even know what Narcissu even is anymore. Now time for the first full-on sham Kickstarter I had a displeasure being part of, Horror Protagonist. You can tell I'm upset because I got the sad face when it came to talk about this project. This game is never ever coming out, which sucks. It's basically a visual novel dating sim, but it's basically trying to be more of a parody of a Harem dating sim, be a bit more fourth wall-y with how it handles stuff. And it sucks because people promoted this game. I remember Team 4-Star actually did promote this game because they liked it. Many people played a demo of it and they enjoyed it. It had promise. It had pretty much could have been something good, but for as far as I'm aware, this all fell apart due to the ego of one man, and basically pushed away all the other developers who were helping make this game into reality, and basically just left us with pretty much nothing. But it keeps desperately trying to pretend like, oh, don't worry, I'll still come out, by making these most half-assed, not even half-assed, it's no-assed updates I've ever seen. So right here, we're like freaking, actually that's 15 euros a pound. That's euros. Anyway, to put money, so information. So let's go into this. This is one that I wish that some like kick scammers ever would ever actually cover, but so they never would. But yeah, look at this. We're just gonna get developer bad luck for not having decent refunding to lead this Kickstarter. Everyone's like, handles got to everyone can figure out what's happening. Yup, just people just upset and pissed because it's been nothing. There is no game. The last update was in July of 2022. Wait a mistake. That's a bit much parts, bro. Oh, you asshole! Oh, the fact that that's the last update recorded. Oh, that pisses me off. Oh, don't worry. Makes Google Docs to events. Does Google Docs even work? Yep, the Google Docs do work. There is, in fact, dialogue for events written in that Google Doc. But it's for a game that's never game made. It's the desperate grasping at straws of one person who basically pushed anyone away. And this game is just never coming out. And this is the first time I was genuinely like pissed off that this was a freaking full-time failure. Like I said, many people promoted this game. They thought it had potential, but nope, it's just abandoned and nothing. Hey, you finished those errands? Hey, you finished those errands? Hey, you finished those errands? Just nothing. God. Yeah, Harem Protagonist. This one just pisses me the hell off. That is completely full of play. This is why I want to use the Kickstarter to I put money into, because when I'm pissed off. If someone at bad number 9 is pissed off number 9, I don't feel this kind of rage. You're not as pissed off as me. My pain is far greater than yours. But yeah, boy, but also said how many freaking stretch goals it reached, and none of it is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. All due to the ego of one freaking dude. Oh my god. Back to happy news. Love Esquire, developed by Yangyang Mobile, same people as the Ltter. So this one is going for full dating sim. It does have more meme and self-aware-ish dialogue, so you don't like that kind of dialogue for dating sim, may not be to your liking. The best way to describe this game is basically take Persona 3, 4, and 5 and invert it. Where Persona is an RPG with dating sim on the side, this is primarily a dating sim with an RPG stuff on the side. So it's the stats you gain for the dating sim aspect, benefiting the RPG side for when you need to do those sections, or if you would choose them, because they're optional, but you do want to do them in order to get a better ending. So it is just more focused on a dating sim than being an RPG, but there are RPG battles in this game. But it's just that kind of game, and just overall, it was a cool game. Also the fact that freaking Jesse Cox, you see right here for Fan Faraday, he actually ended up getting a spider role in this game as like a barkeep. And it really helps that him and Dodger did a live stream for the Ltter and had a good time with it. So it is cool that he had a small role in the game as well. But yeah, it is, like I said, dating sims, not like dating sims. It's your liking, but overall, can't think anything bad that happened this time with the Kickstarter. But I think everything went relatively smoother. Well, at least smoother than freaking the one for the Ltter that had the whole debacle with the freaking voice actors. And this game did also get ported to Switch as the Ltter, and didn't get a physical release, although didn't end up getting that physical release for the game. But it's a whole entire thing. Also, the fact they also added in mod support for this game. So they said, like, listen, this is not a freaking pornographic game or anything. It's not gonna have that kind of content in the game. But we're gonna add mod support, so if someone wants to add those scenes, they totally can. That's kind of logic they had with it, which is kind of funny. But hey, people who wanted to have freaking scenes like that in the game, well, you can, you totally can if you mod it in. That's up to you to decide that. So this whole entire thing seems like nice. Voice, as I mentioned, Jesse Cox playing as the boss. Look at this huge fan considered not just a effective visual, but a generally amazing game. I'm thrilled to be part of this new big adventure. So yeah, it was their name match to get. It ended up getting put in the game. So there's that whole entire quote for that. But yeah, you see all the voice cast here. But yeah, I said the voice cast for Escape is not going to be full nudity, but it will be moddable to have that, and it is moddable to have a bunch of stuff if you so want to. Let's see the comments. What we got to say about it. Look at my email Kickstarter badge and see a digital code. Just resend. See, sounds like it is very seems to be very alert and very good. So you can get switch code. Still not planning on to release it. The Switch version did eventually come out. Yep. So look at that. Happy end. Look at this communication between Yangyang Mobile and the backers. This is pretty cool. I know that there's one change for the mobile release where instead of just being like a full complete version, it was instead more like a stamina based game, because apparently they said that's how mobile games perform better and that's to change the method of the game. But the backers would be getting essentially like, that show is infinite, but like way more energy in the game than a person bought the game, because it's a free format how Love Esquire works for a mobile setting, which is an interesting little insight when it comes to game development and everything. But this one did way better. So that's, there you go. And it's a freaking dope game. You want a fun visual novel that can be meme-ish at times? Love Esquire. You want a game that's just, you ever thought to yourself, man, I like the RPG box Persona, I like the dating sim parts? Well, Love Esquire could in fact be for you. And hey, that shows for the voice actors. We're gonna go back to that. Alejandro voices the protagonist, Esquire, and he also was talking, he started to reload, so it's like you got your slice of Persona right there. Okay, that's all I gotta say about this, but it was a good game, good Kickstarter. You can see it's about $15 USD when to translate like to 20 Hong Kong dollars. But game pretty well, pretty cool, like dating sims. Maybe like this one. Hazelnut Bastille is also one that I don't want to say is a scam, but I wouldn't blame anyone who does. So basically, the idea was to make a game in the vein of 2D Zelda, so more akin to your A Link to the Past and everything, and that was the main goal of the Kickstarter and everything. The problem arose when it came to ambition, because all these stretch goals that we got, I made it to a lot of places, but Cherrymochi's here or somewhere else where there was one stretch goal or something that was met that basically is where the problems began, because one of the problems for this game was for like an 8-bit prequel game to be made, and normally you would make the prequel game after making the main game, but as far as the updates I've seen are, they decided to make both games at the same time, which was a baffling decision because it basically dragged down the development of both games to a crawl. And to this point where the game is still not out yet, but the fact that its delivery was supposed to be for 2020, and we still have no game. Like I said, I don't want to say it's a swan scam because it's still getting updates, progress reports, and actual progress reports, and everything. Not like freaking our Protagonist, we got Jack All. He's getting actual progress reports, everything, but it's just nothing to show for it, despite how many years it's been, and people are still openly upset about this one entire problem. We have a 10th anniversary of development celebration, so stuff like that. Also stuff where a developer gives too much information when it comes to issues, trying to listen, understand things happen, life happens. That's info the public doesn't need to know unless they're trying to do it to garner sympathy. Like, I'm sorry, that's how it comes off. That's how it comes up. Because people say the deck Kickstarter, I don't blame them, basically. Oh my god. People trying to just talk about the issues. You have nothing but ongoing disappointment. If I get released this century. For the people to ask now, it's gonna be for a Switch too. Oh my god. Yeah, Dawnthorn on the one. Dawnthorn, I told you that was the prequel game that was developed at the same times. Oh my god. Oh no, it's a little code that's absolutely saying no for the entire game 4 years. I love experience even more so. 31 year old social one is cool 4 years. We're pushing out roughly 9. I was still to say that I could match entire game skill wise and I think 4 years a team of 3 by the same skill level. Scope has become too large and the team is too small to accommodate. Yup. They bit off way more than they can chew when it came to this project. When it comes from Switch 3, the PlayStation Nintendo hybrid in 2039, but yeah. You can feel the pain even if freaking basically they didn't mean to F up this badly. I say still getting updates for the game and everything. But yeah, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Time for something absolutely amazing to juxtapose One Step from Eden. This game is made to basically be a spiritual successor to my Battle Networks right there. This game, which I don't get my copy on Switch, this game is freaking awesome. I just right off the bat. You like my Battle Network? You'll love One Step from Eden. There's also demo for this game as well, but this game is just freaking awesome. It's got ported to consoles as well. The developer also moved on to making a fighting game spin-off of this game called Duelist of Eden as well. But this game is freaking awesome. I also remember it being freaking brutal at times, but because as you go through getting more cards for your deck, the game progressively gets more and more difficult. It always has deck building with a roguelite nature. I'm pretty sure some upgrades do stay, or more so, your characters do have quirks to them that they get to keep for each run. But man, some of the things the game wants to do for some of the optional endings get freaking insane. And some of the things you're gonna get to even beat the game to begin with are also equally insane. But this game is freaking awesome. It's a cool deck builder. It's a cool freaking roguelite. Easily recommend this freaking game. But it's also got a physical copy thanks to limited run games, which means those physical copies don't exist anymore. But this was a cool game and definitely helped that fill that itch of Battle Network. Back when Battle Network collection was out, and now that Battle Network collection is out, you can now partake in Duelist of Eden if you so choose to, and have fun with that game as well. One Step from Eden itself is cool, and Duelist of Eden is also freaking cool. And that's great to see with success, and they managed to pretty much get a freaking new game that's more of a versus game using the framework of Duelist of Eden. That is freaking awesome. That's freaking great. So the comments gonna say. Some people didn't even know. 2-3 years ago, I didn't even know Duelist of Eden. Yup, so yeah, that's another thing. Surprisingly, they didn't tell anyone about Duelist of Eden. Usually when a Kickstarter does successful, they usually make a sudden update to the backers, be like, hey, here's my cool new project, which I didn't mention. Yangyang Mobile does that all the time. We did that for Love Esquire, like, hey, like the letter, here's a cool new project that we're doing. And surprisingly, developer didn't do that here. They took advantage of that aspect, so you didn't know about it. You pretty much had just pretty much see for yourself. But it's freaking cool that it happened, and One Step from Eden is a freaking awesome game. Can't recommend it enough. That's what I gotta say. From one amazing game to another, Evergate, a game that I actually did make an entire freaking video on, review video. I'll link it somewhere. But basically, this is a puzzle platformer that at the time, I remember when it actually got its console release, people kept comparing it to Ori and the Blind Forest, even though neither of them were anywhere comparable. I didn't get the comparison. Once a Metroidvania was a puzzle platformer, I didn't get it. But this game was freaking great, especially the OST they get on Bandcamp as well. I don't have much to say that I haven't said. I've already said in that freaking video as all. So let's just see what the stretch goals were that we didn't get. Okay, New Game Plus in game, Mimic Crystal, Infinite Corridor, Puzzle Editor, Live Orchestra. That's the thing, when you didn't get Live Orchestra, they still managed to get it thanks to the publisher they got to help with the game. So Live Orchestra still happened anyway, and the music is beautiful. I say comments. Freaking working, but it's having issues. This is what I was waiting for. Send code information with PlayStation. No. Right, at least we're in the corner wall. T-shirt. So like an accident acme plant. The plus it's like an accident acme plant. Because that people got their rewards. He look at that responding up. Seem to be quite responsive, not responsive to everybody, but pretty well responsive, especially for a first-time developer. Let's see. There's some question about for the game break. Here we are. Like a P-Cube is the ones that helped them out greatly. But another say here that I haven't already said in the video. So check out Evergate with a cool puzzle platformer. It's just have a great time. That's all I really need to say. Other her loving embrace. Once again, I can feel and know the frustration comes to this game, especially since it is almost 3 years late in counting. But the developer is in fact trying their best, trying to make the best game it possibly can. So I can't really fully say that, oh, it freaking is Sam or whatever. No. But you can tell some ideas are going for it. They want to have mini-game based stuff for turn-based combat, which is most definitely a choice. I think only recently, when it came to freaking updates, they managed to figure out what exactly they want to do for the combat. Typically not because they didn't finish it, but because they felt like during playtesting, some of the combat felt like a complete drag entirely trying to do it. So it's going to be one of the more quirky RPGs kind of thing, with how it's pretty much being made, and damn, it had a lot more stretch goals than I thought it did. But this one, you can feel the frustration in people, especially in the comments, about how it feels like there's no way to get done because it's already way overdue when it's supposed to eventually come out. So that one, can't blame people for feeling the frustration. I wasn't tired down on everything, so was legit and everything. So constantly read comments. But yeah, I also find that sometimes the updates would be infrequent. The most recent one was in March 21st, so came out relatively recently for an update. It says it's about battle system. They do go to events and everything like MagFest, so it's not as if they're, I said, they are trying. They are trying their best with the best game they possibly can, but just, you know, things are not going as planned, so leading to many problems and delays. That's why you can feel people's frustration and everything. So yeah. But said developer are trying. They are still making the game. It's still being done. It's not like Protagonist where it just got completely abandoned. It's not like Narcissu 10th anniversary. It also got completely abandoned. You want a physical copy. The developer is still trying. They're still keep going. But at this point, any promotional material you see here basically is unrelated to what the game currently is at this point, which is a weird way to look at things. Guinea Pig Parkour, hand-drawn 2D platformer adventure that did get funded. I won't know, this funding wasn't for the full game itself. It's actually for a slice of the game. The portions should pretty much get funded with there being a second Kickstarter that is planned. It still hasn't happened yet, but another Kickstarter is supposed to be planned at some point in order to get full production of the game. Like, see right here, since full game was 50,000, that was supposed to reach the goal because initially it was just basically a slice of the game, 25,000. So it did get funded and released and everything. That's what dumbass that I'm playing it yet. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me. So the Kickstarter not playing the game. Don't look at me. This isn't about me. It's about things are funded. But this did come out. It took a bit of a while, I believe. Let's see. Estimated delivery was 2020. And I didn't even mark and receive it. Whoops. Shut up. But no, this come out, and this person is very much open and communicative with the community, especially on social media and everything when it comes to the making of this project and everything. I said I do have the plans to continue this project, but right now still haven't gone up yet. Let's hear the comments. If you ask for update, they got an update. That's an update, they got an update. Let's see. This is a project. Finish this. Get up to that ball, problem with development, coding stuff up. So yeah, it's all about issues trying to get the game even made. But it did. Despite everything, this slice of the game did get made. For the next one, we see the game when it's completed. For this one, you get all the rewards promised. Oh wow. So yeah, did get done. Did get done. I mean, let's check the updates. Personal updates, coaching. But yeah, this person is very vocal about everything that's going on when it comes to pretty much making the game. So, now as if this person is trying their best, everything, and did manage to get something out in the end. It's the fact that, you know, wasn't the full funding of the game, which at this point would have been crazy if it was full funding concerning the tribulations they went through just to make this slice of the game to begin with. But it worked out in the end. Don't look at me because I haven't played it yet. Don't look at me. The Wonderful 101 Remastered by PlatinumGames, a Kickstarter to get a remaster self-published for several platforms. And this one I backed kind of last minute like Bloodstained, because it's just like a Bloodstained. They did have a closing stream that was once again hosted by Far From Subtle TV / Video Games Awesome. We came to it, I believe that live stream also had a special build a game that was specifically a crowd control build of it, which also did help support the freaking Kickstarter of the game. And also had a collab video with Man64 as well. Actually, two of them. I get a tired joke about they could come me up blocking people on Twitter. Hell, there's even a freaking goal here, I believe. They could have gotten to just also get blocked by Kamiya if you wanted to. Although you didn't actually have to. Like, you don't actually gotta get blocked by Kamiya if you don't want to, guys. So there's that whole entire aspect that came to the whole entire thing. Overall, from my perspective, I'd say it was a success, although they couldn't reach all the stretch goals they got, but they did manage to do stretch goals. Remember, that's what they put in did get added in. Although the remix soundtrack, I thought it would be something added into the game itself. No, it was actually a separate release, which is still cool. It still happened. I'm pretty sure it's still to release physical rewards. They're still behind on that aspect because of the properties. So there is that, but yeah, Chris blocks everyone. Mission 12. So yeah, this grab Bob and I was privileged to be Bob. So yeah, very special Kickstarter. You have something blocked during you, they won't block you forever. I'll show a word not to be blocked by community not want to be. There we go, there's the notion. But this did come out. I'm pretty sure they're still finalizing stuff when it comes to the physical stuff they promised. Let's check the comments. Okay. Waiting for physical awards to be issued. Yup, trying to say that's the issue. Award receive physical soundtrack. Yup, producing the physical awards is the problem when it comes to this game. Freaking seems to be struggling to try and get that done. Today is retracing nothing distressing. It's a Kickstarter. Oh, dear lab. Oh, motherfucker, an entire article. Let's check the last update, which was in 2024. Custom controller update. Let's see that updates. Backer hub update. Backer hub phase 2.5. But yeah, that seems to be a problem trying to get the freaking physical stuff out. Seems to be just like with Sekai projects. Seems to be a big problem to run into. Update they missed for the whole year. So development or what? Yup. So why is all the physical products always the freaking problem with Kickstarters? I swear. Getting too ambitious with physical products without creating this whole entire problem. Oh boy. But that's what I gotta say, because Wonderful 101 Remastered itself is a dope game. It does try to address some of the issues the original had, typically as more in the fact that some of the things weren't explained well. Although at the same time, I've seen people play this remaster, and they still complain some things weren't explained well, because, yeah, some things still aren't, but then there's some dumb things, like people being told to make a circle, and then make a spiral, and someone gets surprised that it doesn't work. It's like, what you expect? I mean, a spiral. You made a spiral, you have to make a circle. Because shapes are very specific when it comes to Wonderful 101. The game itself, that's pretty damn good. I remember someone got surprised being, how can this game work with the Wii U gamepad? Simple. The Wii U gamepad was an afterthought of the game. It's better to just use the right analog stick to make shapes. So, thinking people trying to act like, trying to be like that, it's like, oh, just use the right analog to make shapes. It's way faster, more efficient than using the Wii U gamepad. Although it still has those segments where we're built around the Wii U gamepad, and they tried to have that work on the same game, but it just creates an awkward dual screen effect. It doesn't quite reach the effect that they clearly wanted to do. But overall, I'd say game's good, but yeah, it's a freaking still get the physical rewards out. That's the further problem. And with PlatinumGames losing talents, it's not good for the company. But again, I doubt they're responsible for the ones when it comes to the freaking physical rewards. Have a different company that they freaking partner with. Anywho, on to the next one. Lost Ruins is a Metroidvania game that does cool feature where the fact that because of how the way the game's equipment system work, you can create sort of a kind of builds you want for the game as well, though I will say there are times this game can feel, that's what I'm looking for, unforgiving. I remember this one segment in the game with this bridge. Just trying to cross that effing bridge, man. Just trying to cross that effing bridge, man. Kept dying over and over. I don't know if there's multiple endings, and you are given hints and tips in order to pretty much how to get the best ending possible for the game. There's also a special mode you can also do where you play as other characters as well in a special bonus mode that is also a cool bonus as well you can do. So there's that whole aspect, but it's just a cool Metroidvania that is a bit more in the fan service with some of the freaking boss designs, but also comedic. Also knows how to be comedic as well with some of the boss moments as well, where the gameplay goes. But it's also a cool Metroidvania. Like I said, there's an aspect where they give you this tip early on, like, hey, don't do this. And it's like, oh, I'll give you that tip. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Basically, that knows basically how to have fun. How to have fun with itself while also having some very cool boss designs and stuff. It might be a freaking dodge roll as one kind of game. Issues I have with Kickstarter. I got this game, a Switch version, and I believe the DLC is supposed to come out for the Switch version. Never actually came out whatsoever. At least to my knowledge, Switch console version never actually got the DLC that was supposed to come to it, which annoys the hell out of me, because that stuff still missing in the game, and pretty sure the developers have since moved on so far after. To the comments, I gotta say. Yep, we got a DLC code. Nope, it's also on several platforms. Everything. Oh yeah, they got physical release as well. They might be from limited run games as well. No, I thought it was Humble Bundle in front of that one. This is the best option, Kickstarter, because not working, not answering emails. See new code, yep. So yeah, there's also an issue where they sent the wrong code to people initially with the console version, like a PC code. But yeah, the DLC never seemed to actually come out, which, that sucks. That sucks. That's why I said I went with games that I bash publicly, because that still frustrates me. I didn't get all the content I was promised, but the PC players do. Ugh. But anyway, it's still a cool Metroidvania game that people should check it out. It's one of those freaking indie games that gets to go complete off the wayside, which I don't blame people. I mean, look at it. But it is a cool freaking game that more people should play and enjoy. Perfect Gold. I bet you thought you guys had last year mobile, but now pre-order again with the Yuri visual novel. This game was way more on the short side. It was basically to be a smaller game. It only has like 3 endings or so with the game as well. But it came from said no much buzz about it, especially since it was a smaller project. It came out, played it, and it was good. Although I felt like, even with the fact that shorter runtime and everything, it still felt like it went on longer than it needs to be. Like, it just, I felt like it wasn't a lot to the story, despite how short it already was. But it's a short story with 3 endings that aren't anything too grand. There's a basic, oh, here's a bad outcome, the normal outcome is a good outcome kind of thing. So it's just a smaller title. Not very much I have to say about it. It's a good visual novel, but I said just more so on a smaller title. There's not much really to it to say. So let's get over to the comments. What people gotta say. I never got my copy. That's good. That's a good first sign. He needs a mobile copy, so. So they are responding to people, so to a certain extent, they basically stop responding to them. And then not see the back here. But yeah, I see that people did get their stuff. They're not really due to the pandemic situation country. So there's stuff like that. You trying to go soon, not just my address. So said they still did help people, but then at a certain extent, like around more recent times, they've basically moved off on this project. What does suck for those people specifically. But said don't really have much to say about this game. I mean, want a short visual novel? Let's make a couple, then go ahead. It's a good visual novel. But I said if it's like, but there's not a lot to it, which I know is the point, but even though it's the point, still feel like there's still not a lot to it. Jitsu Squad. Jitsu Squad is basically what if beat 'em up, but also fighting game. And it would be a pretty cool idea and combination. It's basically a beat 'em up, but you do have mechanics and inputs of that of a fighting game as well, and it works out pretty damn well as a freaking game. I also reached a bunch of stretch goals, not all of them, you see. Also, this game did get a big push because of, well, right here, freaking Maximilian dude, who they put in the game as like a small assist that they put in the game for it. So stuff like that. There's a little effect at that level that this freaking stretch goal, was it here? Stretch goal. Okay, no. Cause maybe it's mentioned later. Not mentioned later, then I'll say freaking not mentioned later. But it's just a cool game. These developers are also, I believe, also the ones handling the Samurai Pizza Cat game that got announced like a month or so ago. So there is that goodness, but there are some Kickstarter woes we have to mention. Such as the fact that this game got physical copies, all printed and released, before the backers even got any copy of the game. They managed to get the attention of a publisher who helped make physical copies, but they've made the physical copies for the store and the public before the backers even got their copies of the game, and that has to be one of the biggest dick moves. The fact that the public got to play it before we did, and we helped fund the thing. That's still the fact that still annoys me that happened. Like, god damn. There's something in the game that if I freaking had a capture card, I'd freaking make a video about, because it deserves more attention. It was a cool freaking beat 'em up. That's what the comments have to say. Then I got my refund and stopped responding. Well, that's going well. That's the console version playable character. Yes, it's bringing a picture cats going to the trailer. They do this weird kind of concept about how Jitsu Squad scammed us and doesn't refund us correctly. Just like every trading comment on Jitsu Squad, let your voice be heard. F you to Dookie scammers. What? Pizza cats don't understand. I get that. They're not working on pizza. We have to go to another developer page. Do that. There's arcade portion of the squad. Those cameras are getting samurai pizza cats playable characters. That's why I asked. Oh, no, it's like, that's what I thought they were working here. So why are people saying scammed us? Why are people saying scam? They're free fund. You want arcade district console free. Oh, the people funded an arcade stick that never got done and never got the same person never got that. So, oh my gosh, shut up! You destroyed it from the packaging. Oh, that house is horrible. Let's see. So there were refunds that were being issued. Check the updates for that. So what's that about? Issue refunds, content support, new content, sound mixing. No, really mentioned there. Strange. So there's a problem that happened. Let's see. So this is required July. What's this about? Oh, just something else. Make sure you're about to get called a Kickstarter scam. I'll take all the blog to know about it. Kickstarter since early 2023. What the hell is even going on? No one's saying anything specific. So I'll choose your words. Yep, it's a physical award issue. That's just physical. Why is it always a physical award that people tend to F up with? My God. Why is it always the physical awards that people freaking botch? What's this for? Oh, the fact that, right, the physical copies that they released were also cheaper than the Kickstarter backer copies as well. Which is also another kick in the day. Like I said, the game itself is awesome, but my God, the Kickstarter behind the scenes is a freaking mess. My goodness. Oh, this was a freaking mess. This was a freaking mess. This is a bigger mess that I didn't realize. But yeah, cool game, but Kickstarter's a goddamn mess. Lucid Soul, a game that is also overdue, but I just found out recent developments that could make things more interesting to tell. But essentially, the whole gimmick was an RPG game where you play as the villain, so it's gonna be a turn-based game that had a more horror aesthetic. Once again, you're playing as the villain, freaking farming your own castle domain, and your opponent being the traveling hero who wants to save the day, but since you're in the way, they're not gonna get that. Oh, I got that. I back this just for the fact of it's a freaking video RPG to play as a freaking villain, and it's like, come on, there's not many games out there gonna play a villain, and I mean an actual villain, not a. You gotta play as a villain. All you do is you're an asshole. Yeah, villain. I do the same thing. No. So this one has a lot, like I said, Kickstarter issues, because of the fact that it is way overdue. So the main problem has to do with not just it being delayed constantly, but also the problem of updating. The developer only ever updated people in their Discord rather than in the actual Kickstarter page itself using the actual email system. So if they were doing anything, you wouldn't know about it, like me, considering the fact that I didn't go to Discord, kind of use the Discord like that for developer updates. So when I didn't actually do anything, is honestly up in the air. So come and say to just call it a scam until right now, because the comments are now filled with the update posts by a developer, even having a segment where you mention how they fear that they're going to become part of 12% stat that Kickstarter failures. You know, some confronting campaigns, Kickstarter less satisfied time to play, according to a report by the University of Pennsylvania, Warren School of Business, and how they feared becoming that, and they're trying to become more open. They still want people to go to their freaking Discord information, but they're trying their best to try and publicly have more information. Granted, they know that the updates they're providing are the kind of updates that the average Joe Schmo backer wants to see. Like, not many people want to know about coding-based updates, but they swear that they're trying to get the most important parts of their engine running, and then once they got that, everything will be way better and start getting things done more properly. So they are trying. So there's another person that is trying their goddamn best, but their problem for years was a lack of communication, and for some reason just wouldn't talk to people on the actual Kickstarter page itself. And it's just baffling that the one people you want to update is the Kickstarter people, but you kept going, use my Discord. Nobody wants Discord because Discord makes it easier to communicate with people on a more personal level and everything. But it's still freaking crazy that you wouldn't just use the email update feature that Kickstarter provides. So, yeah, it's kind of a whole entire thing. Let's see. Kind of a whole entire thing. What's this? So try to support some overview so it'll be up to the show's project. Yeah, that's no problem. They also have a show don't tell mentality, which is good. It is good to have that mentality, but there are times where you do have to say something because of the fact that it leads to issues like this, where for years people felt like there's nothing being done. But they are showing, they are trying to prove it is getting worked on. It will happen and trying to give that spark of hope. Something that Harem Protagonist was not giving and never will. But look at this, the last official update is still stated for like 2021. Not even 2022. It's still insane that, again, you have a whole update feature. Use it. But they are now using the comments to try and be more transparent here. And it's also directly message people with Kickstarter. So they are trying. They are trying, but it's like, there are many ways to go about this kind of thing, because communication, because of Kickstarter. So at least the frustrating thing, like, until I just saw this now, I was ready to just say, you know what, it's abandoned, it's done, never happening. But they are trying, so we'll see if something eventually happens. Unlike Harem Protagonist, where nothing will ever get done from that. Unbeatable. This is a rhythm game and also had a public demo as well. This game gets constant updates by the scenes. They are very talkative, go to many conventions, everything to show off the game and everything. They're still working on it. It's still being developed, even though it's supposed to come out 2023. But the game is still being developed, hasn't fully come out yet. I believe they have also been updating the demo as well. So even though the Kickstarter campaign ended, people who choose the demo were still playing an unbeatable white label. So this is a whole entire rhythm game that says still gets a lot of updates, and they are very, very talkative, which is, once again, good. You want to tell the backers what's going on constantly, and what's going on with the game. So let's see right now what are the comments are like. Love the new Sunken was still being worked on. We hope. Various types of questions. Still working on the game full time. We're still starting this year for release. So we'll start the updates of the campaign. We'll also be spending on marketing article haystack. Called storage for release. We are not dead. We are not dead. We are sure. See, that's what you want to see. That is what you want to see from that communication. The enhanced demo first release for the final release. The upgrade games to come out a copy game this year estimate. So yeah, they're still making it, and also they're still slated to come out this year. They have a release window and everything, which is freaking cool. That's right, Silent Life, it's still coming. It's still happening, baby. The release updates were saying, hey, they went to MagFest. It's still happening. They don't update every month, but they still be updating and everything. So that is still good and everything. That's great to see. That's the way I kind of see it. Oh yeah, that's a feature of Kickstarter where it allows me as to request to get an update as well. Although not every single thing has that option, but it's a cool thing Kickstarter does let you do, even though it sets a request, so the developer doesn't have to actually answer Sekai project. So yeah, it's not perfect. But once again, Kickstarter's never guaranteed and everything. They tell you that disclaimer and everything. You know, try and back Kickstarter. That's not guaranteed. Don't take a best pre-order or nothing. Take a bit to try and make a vision come true. Although you can still be pet peeve where some Protagonist doesn't happen. Adventure. This game being definitely one of those RPGs more influenced by Earthbound. It's not just me saying that. It literally says so right there. Then another game of developer trying their best to make this game happen, even if it's way overdue at this point. They're close to getting some sort of playable build out. To a point, playable build will be in early access state. That'll be available free to the backers as well. But so far, nothing tangible has come out, but we've constantly had updates over and over and over, even to the point where I'm pretty sure they're still updating to this day, which is super good to see that they're being vocal about, so I'll be updated the game, which, you know, like I said, very important for Kickstarter to do, tell people what's going on, let's get that stretch goals completed as well. But let's see the comments. There's people wondering when it is going to be done. But I said for updates, literally this year, February 17th. Yeah, so change the release date to 3rd of April 2025. It is for finally developing an early access build a game, but something is being done. Things are getting done. Yeah, so things are getting done and it's so close, so we'll find out soon. We'll find out soon if something truly happens. Look at one case of developer trying their best to get something done, even if it's not done on time. So you know what? You can fault them for being late, but at least something's getting done. Unlike her Protagonist. If someone's getting tired of me mentioning her Protagonist over and over, just know I'm still butthurt over it. Sacrifice, done by Pixelated Milk, who are the same people as Regalia and Monarch. I remember when this guy revealed, I think it was at a PC game show, something like that. I remember this guy revealed that people had an amazing first impression of a pixel-based action RPG. Then they got a terrible second impression because developers said such stupid stuff, like saying they want to fix the problems of RPGs, that basically it was the idea of stereotypes RPGs are associated with, and feeling like they can fix that aspect, which, anyone who says crap like that basically sounds like they have their head firmly up their own ass. Not gonna lie, if I hadn't already known the Regalia of Monarch, I probably would have had a decent opinion as well when it came to it, because, like, who the hell says crap like that, especially we just announced the goddamn game. But this game is still in development. It is several years late, but we still get firm updates constantly about it. Even when people ask it's still being worked on, it is in fact still being worked on. I believe they also released like a beta for the game as well, like multiple times I believe, for people who got that tier in order to test out the game. So let's check out the comments. Been quiet lately. Well, work on it hard. Check the address. Yep. You know, the launch day started as a quick idea. We work as hard as humanly possible to finish the game just like concrete. We will share it with you all. Yep, so stuff like this, they are in fact working on it and giving out responses. Japan, Asia, rest of the world. So they are very, very attentive in their own comments of asking people for questions. Life here existed. AMA as well. AMAs even. I'll show you the most recent update. Just development update that came out in December 2024. Security smoothly. Substantial studio 3. Year of turn creation media appearances. Shoes and point. Plan another playtest. Planning another playtest. Next, you have to decide. They've been doing playtests as well when it comes to it. For news and history, for story challenges, layouts. There's back and forth, so that's the years of progress. Let's go public playtest. It was a public playtest. Potential arrival switch the games in place if we want it to be just yet. So yeah, they're still working on it. Still not on track, but they're still trying. They're still trying to get the game out and are working on it, which is still good to hear. So it gives hope that the game will still come out and everything. But yeah, just want to say that's the second impression of we don't want to have any of that stuff that drag that RPGs. Like, don't say crap like that. Don't ever say crap like that. It just makes you sound freaking overly smug and honestly annoys people more than anything else. The double Kickstarter of Arm Fantasia and Penny Blood. This should be 2 games, being one special successor to Wild Arms, one special successor to Shadowheart. 2 RPGs that I have not played either. Get on my back. But having a double Kickstarter for both the games was an ambitious idea to get people excited, especially to have a game like Shadowheart back. I'm pretty sure people said like there was just no other RPG that really did anything like Shadowheart, so to have Arm Fantasia and Penny Blood come out of this was an interesting prospect. While I did back for both, as you can see, I was more excited for Penny Blood because, well, a horror-based RPG just sounds more interesting to me. Like, it's just a cooler idea for like a setting for an RPG. But that was based on the premise, with we getting updates, but there's a lot to say to this tale. So all we've had to go off of is concept art, concept stuff, and also like alpha footage, something for Arm Fantasia. We haven't really had anything for Penny Blood, and I'll explain why. Though I did get like a little mini spin-off game. There's like a roguelike that's like, okay. So there is that aspect, but if you were to check updates and stuff, You have to notice that, like, recently I mentioned how there are going to be fewer updates, fewer information, because they're still having trouble finding publishers for the game. The whole point of Kickstarter was to attract publishers, and apparently publishers are not biting, which is a huge problem, and that's why a lot of stuff has been getting done. Development has been getting done. Although one issue that basically I think I'll just try and highlight here in this update, I try to see, yeah, for Penny Blood, a lot of stuff getting done for Penny Blood, including stuff like novels and stuff like that spin-off game I mentioned, but they don't talk about much about Penny Blood itself. They don't talk about the game itself much in these updates. People notice, like, why is it Arm Fantasia can go into details of design and concepts for its game, but Penny Blood just doesn't have much to really say? And there is a reason for that. The reason being, on the Wild Rose Studio, developed by Penny Blood's personal website, in 2024, they filed a lawsuit against freaking Ben Judd, their producer of Double Kickstarter, and the ex-CEO of Dung Entertainment, for unpaid production costs for the video game Penny Blood. So they're lapped in a lawsuit and basically can't really up there talk about Penny Blood whatsoever, is why it basically gets jack all to the updates. And also the fact that Ben Judd, like, listen, I know Ben Judd from the whole fiasco of number 9, because he's the person who he's working at Capcom. He's the person that also convinced our developer Koji Igarashi to go to Kickstarter for project, and also convinced Kenji Inafune for number 9. So he likes to pretty much producer and come with ideas and stuff like that. He's also the person that the infamous "It's better than nothing" line that people blame Kenji Inafune for, but it was Ben Judd himself voicing his thoughts when about my number 9. But we're talking about Penny Blood here, where he is basically just, according to a lawsuit, allegedly has not given the production money to developers of Penny Blood, which is why he really can't talk about the game itself much, and the backer updates highlight that, where they just don't really say much about the game as a result, which friggin' sucks. Pretty much stuck in a lawsuit, and to limit what they basically say. So the point, people find this Kickstarter is basically dead. It's not dead. These two games aren't dead. They're still trying. They're still trying to get these games to actually happen, but it's a case of things just not going to plan. Like, trying to find a publisher, since their publishers don't want to support the idea. Unlike something like freaking Bloodstained, which is actually a publisher, but like a publisher, so that publishers don't really care when I invest something like Arm Fantasia, despite the money being chunked when you raised 379 million yen. But apparently, doesn't seem to be enough for publishers to really look into and everything, which does suck. When was the estimated release date as soon as Kickstarter was to effing work? Good page. There we go. Estimated delivery was supposed to be this month. That's what sucks too. But the games are still being made, but now it's gonna be, I mean, it's update says it's gonna be less and less updates for them, which freaking sucks. Yeah, they're gonna get less updates to result in everything, and this, but you can still see progress being done for Arm Fantasia, everything. You still think things are being done, but Penny Blood basically just can't talk about stuff because of the lawsuit, which, this is a mess. It's not even the fault of the people making it. That's the worst part. It's not even the fault of the developers. It's basically the fault of other people so far, from what we're pretty much gathering. But that's the cookie crumbles. We'll see more in the future, if there's more to the future, from Fantasia and Penny Blood. Rune Fencer Leah, another Metroidvania. I swear I'm also flying Metroidvanias. Get off my back. But it's Metroidvania back that, while it hasn't met its initial estimated delivery of January 2024, it is slated to come out this year though. So, hey, it's not a huge delay, but hey, it's gonna come out this year, and hopefully it's matches to reach all the promised stretch goals that's slated. So surprised that the Xbox port was way ahead of the PlayStation port. Huh, interesting. But yes, as Metroidvania, it looks so gorgeous just from the preview stuff they have listed here. It looks so freaking cool with the platform, and they got time stop abilities. Anywho, it's a game that does get frequently updates. although not in the comments page itself. Although actually that's gonna come updated here too. But from the updates page, see, they do some updates, like most recent one being of this month for the time of this recording. So they are very active. They even started sending these updates as well to people on the Steam community board, which is also cool, keeping more people updated. That's super cool. I like the idea of having more people see the Kickstarter updates. People don't think, oh, the project's dead, the project's done. No, it's happening. It is happening. It's up for SMF this year, and I am freaking excited. This looks so cool. It's gonna be so damn awesome. But yeah, this game is a game to keep your eye out for. Rune Fencer Ilya, this is the game to keep your eye out. Hopefully it's dope. I should be guaranteed something, unless we're guaranteed nothing, but it is promising. One, 5 Parrots of Mara, another game that I already made a video on, which is a super cool, super fun 3D platformer that definitely wants you to go fast, do more speedrun and stuff, but just freaking cool. This game I came across due to YouTube ads they actually had to support the Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter was successful. The game did come on everything. It's not the most complicated game out there, being a platformer. It's just super fun. That's all it needs to freaking be. Now the estimate says summer 2023. When did I get my game? So summer 2023. No, literally as planned. The other thing to mention is the physical rewards, which, based on the comments, people did get their physical rewards for the most part. Any issues, digital stuff, they may end up fixing issues with private messages. So that's super cool. They're very attentive to helping people, and they're still giving updates for also stuff they're still doing, like collabs and stuff. Oh no, the last update was like 2024. Never mind. But yeah, they're still helping people with any issues. So super cool way I handled the Kickstarter. Things went according to plan with the release date, and not much else to say. It's super cool, nice, and it's a cool simple platform. I've seen my video, watch the video. It's a cool game, and you should buy it. Next up is Dream Shot Fantasia. This is a puzzle game where the main difference being the fact that, well, one, they want to have a robust story mode, but it's also the fact that the way you play it actually has you blasting the blocks from the side rather than controlling it going from top to bottom. So that's an aspect on top of the fact that you're also pushing the blocks over. So you have more control in trying to get out of a bad situation, as you see here in this GIF. So it's kind of style they're going for with this game. It gives you more control over it, and it also means you panic. It's really on you because you have more ability to prevent destruction. So this game, back because this is the cool idea. They didn't make a whole lot of stretch goals with animated portraits and the base funding. That's about it, but it's a project that saw floating around on Twitter and thought looked pretty damn interesting and went, sure, game show right here, the kind of thing where you push the blocks and everything. But what I want to highlight with this game is the fact that it's supposed to, actually, as my delivery was December 2023, as mentioned, everything was just for that note. This mission was like 2024 for this game, so 2024, but it hasn't come out yet, and we recently found out the reasoning why and why updates haven't been frequent, and it has to do with issues where the main artist behind the game isn't exactly cooperating properly, or at least not responding to messages properly. So that's the big holdup, that without the main artist, animator, basically can't really get things done. Even to the point of asking the backers, hey, would you be fine if we just didn't have the animated story mode at that point? And there's even a straw poll for backers to go through and just show the results, with the overwhelming being people would rather wait until it was done with all the content in it than have to actually release it early without all the content. He was saying that if hypothetically we get a story mode and make portraits, it would release during the summer. But people want the game as it was envisioned, so even if there are issues with development, people do want that main content. You want all the stuff. So we got any comments and a whole lot. No, nothing from recent. So from 2 years ago. Let's see if any comments on the update itself. Yep. Some people are saying they're mixed on it. But it's kind of open communication and stuff that people of Kickstarter should really have, and the fact that they're willing to even talk about this in public is really good and amazing to see. They're being this honest. Because again, there's no easy answer to this because, well, it's either we wait who knows how long for it to get done once the main artist is and the anime is available, or release it without all the content in it, which would especially suck since mentioned for one of the stretch goals was animated portraits. And if I mention how for other games people got upset that some stretch goals weren't implemented, this would be no different. So you can see how they're basically in a difficult situation and just trying to be very transparent, which is appreciated. Stuff is Crowsword, and this game also got a lot of buzz when Kickstarter was going. Another Metroidvania game. Like I said, I tried the Metroidvania like a fly, but it raised a lot over $1 million Canadian dollars, and it just looks like a damn cool Metroidvania. With the way it's stuck, I could do almost every stretch goal, not all of them, but it was pretty much one that got people's attention immediately when what was going on with the game. They don't really just give us some of the stuff in it, how you combat it. It just looks damn cool, and it probably also scratches the itch for people who wish they could have gotten more Bloodborne stuff and instead get this cool Metroidvania game that's looks pretty damn amazing. But the reason I'm really highlighting this game is also the fact that, like you said, it's the estimated delivery was 2023, with the developers recently making an update, talking to people who feel like, because like I said, this game's been getting updated a lot. We know a lot about development and everything. People feel like some things aren't up and up, and some of the comments are disgruntled, but like this person says, I don't feel this game coming out to Silk Song, because the updates should people complain about. Yeah, people are generally complaining about the fact of freaking saying how they feel like it's not gonna come out, they feel like it was a scam at some point. Some people saying they want a refund, everything. This is just a great post, especially like a refund, because people sell digital wallpaper, see your game, money lost. So people are definitely upset with how long it's taking. So there is that issue, but developers did recently update the game in the customer comments. Yeah, people are about to criticize the game back 4 years ago, so that's him on the play, no release date in sight. When nearby schedules in the helps, the wording in Tokyo very defensive, kind of saddening. People know the game developers take time. Because the people that funded the game about topic, the game hash project, it's a passion project, you have people for the mindless lots of it. What do you want to do? Promise a release date and close, fishing, or fish game. We want to make the game takes time, but then criticize being defensive when they outline exactly why. So yeah, see, like this whole entire thing, because they don't use the comment section much themselves when it comes to responding to people. So the update was basically doing that while also being a regular update as well. But developers trying to pretty much explain the situation, how some things are higher than scope, especially in the terms of the stretch goals that would basically inflate the game and everything, make it a lot bigger than they initially intended, which would push back the release date and everything, on top of the fact of trying to make it the highest quality possible, so things in final release will probably look better than they were in the initial concept stuff that we've seen. So the fact that people are saying they're being defensive, yes, some of these people are calling them a grift, a scam, a sham. They have every right to be defensive if you're making such big accusations. Like, yeah, especially when there are Kickstarters out there that are 100% shams from the start. So yeah, they should be upset. It should be defensive, especially if they have things to back it up. This is why I want to give leeway to certain projects like Hazelnut and freaking Lucid Soul, so that they've been showing progress. They are trying, unlike Harem Protagonist, where things are so no-ass that's like you tell like, oh, there's nothing even going on here anymore. But these are people that are trying to make the best thing they can possibly make. So while you can be upset and you can criticize, they are still trying. Things are getting done. So trying to call them a scam or a grift is ridiculous, especially since even many AAA games could get years and years of delay as well. Like, I know it's more personal because it's your money directly being funding it, but then look at other games where it's like maybe pre-ordered a game and it gotta get delayed. So kind of the whole entire thing, you know. You know what? I told mine to definitely mention this one. I just update. Originally, I mentioned this game, but with that update, it's like, yeah, that's like a very good point the devs are expressing when it comes to game development, and also freaking need to follow through every single Kickstarter stretch goal award. So things are still going on, things are still happening, but people have a right to be upset. But calling them a freaking scam when they aren't is going too far. The Megami Tensei 1 and 2 BGM Rearranged CD. So this project, from the original composer Megami Tensei 1 and 2, Tsukasa Masako, decided to make a rearrangement CD for some of the tracks from Megami Tensei 1 and 2. That's basically the whole simple idea. They have out for physical copies that ship anywhere in the world, which I ended up back in getting a physical copy of it. And for this video, has probably been playing some of my tracks, if I remember to do so. Hey, future me, you should have been playing some of those tracks. They're super dope. So this cool digital story Megami Tensei does get to technically live on to this day with new remix for the OST of some of the tracks, and they are freaking cool. I did hear that they went over budget with making it, so if you want to support it, I'm pretty sure they'd really appreciate that fact. But the freaking CD arrangements are freaking cool. It's even was an offer where you could have gotten like not just the rearranged songs, but also the prototype that they also made as well for it. But this is freaking cool and way above anything I expected for it. Let's read the comments. People gotta say. To be a sponsor, lots of Japanese, so I can't read what's saying. I hope they're saying nice. I hope they're saying nice things. The last update was last year, 2024. Yep, we're in Japanese, doing English translation. No, there is not, but it's a Japanese Kickstarter. But it does have exit translation in some places. But I got my copy that shipped, everything. Pretty cool though when I got it. I forgot I backed this away. Why do I have a package in Japan? I completely forgot. But if I've done my job right, you should be hearing music from this rearrangement. It is super cool, and this is freaking awesome. So yeah, this is something that you want to support. Cool remixes for Megami Tensei 1 and 2. Go ahead, it's cool. Those are the Kickstarters that I backed that I wanted to focus on. There are a bunch more, but those are Kickstarters that just don't have their release date set until like late 2025 or 2026. So I feel like bringing them up here, it doesn't really feel like it has a point. So I'll just end it off here with highlighting that for the most part, the Kickstarters I backed did turn out successful, or at least you can see they're still trying to get the thing made. But there are ones where I did get burnt, freaking hard Protagonist, where I got burnt very hard. And I'm still not over that one. Or freaking, the second not part of the Kickstarter, but the Dash hopes to get a physical copy, and Narcissu 10th anniversary Anthology, which I didn't back that amount, because I was stupid. But freaking just selected they want me a console version with that physical release. Let's buy my limited run games. I still wait it to happen. And it's a limited run game is like, can y'all guess what we'll announce? And I'm like, are you doing this yet? They have yet to answer me. Although they did that one time I did, where me and someone else didn't much figure out they were making a physical copy of Blade Residual Fiction on Switch. And they, the CEOs of the company were like, oops, because that was supposed to go public yet, but the ESRB listing was up. So they are a good sport when it comes to figuring things out sooner than you were supposed to. But like I said, that's all that's like Kickstarter stuff. I still want to highlight that there were more pluses here than bad. People feel like every Kickstarter is going to be a scam, going to be a failure and everything. Now you can see there was more good to be had here than negative. That's one point I want to highlight, that people treat every Kickstarter as a horrible idea to be supported, but if nobody ever supported Kickstarter, then some of the cool games they cut out over the years wouldn't have happened. And also stuff like even Metroid 2 Samus Returns 3DS remake and Metroid Dread wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for some sort of crowdfunding when it came to making indie Metroidvania games and people get made through crowdfunding like Kickstarter. So great stuff like that. There's a lot good to Kickstarter back games. So I want to get over it. Alright then, good day, play games.